everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelshaus, and I want to decorate some pages for this little tiny journal that I've got going on here. I've gotten out a few things. First of all, I decided not to use the envelope and the card that I was thinking about that I showed you in the last video. But I decided I do want something that kind of flips out, so I'm going to fold this paper and make it into a page in the signature, and it might even be the center fold, I'm not sure. So this is just paper, regular paper that I've coffee dyed, and so it's got a lot of, very interesting staining on it and everything. So I want to fold it so that it's going to fit in here, but we can use the folds to flip out and stuff in the journal. So I'm going to get out a piece of the piece that I just happen to have in the center right now, which happens to be one that's completely undecorated, so that's perfect. That'll give us a good idea of the size. I'm going to make it slightly smaller, not a whole lot, not even 1/8 of an inch smaller. But this folds up, wow, it folds up all the way, almost all the way to the top. So I think we might do some other things with it too. All right, so we've got that. Let's see, and we're going to have to fold it in some also. So if we fold this end, that's going to be too much. So we're going to fold a little bit on both sides. All right, so we're just going to fold it in like this. And then we'll find out how much we have to fold on the other side. Look at that beautiful staining. Isn't that awesome? Okay, and then this one will need to be folded. We want to make it just slightly smaller than this. So like about there. Okay, and then this should fit in just fine. So I'm going to try it in the book first before I go any further. Okay, so let's fold it in half with those sides in. I think this might make a really nice center fold, so we'll see. All right, we're going to crease it really, really well because we want it to lay as flat as possible, because I may have to take out a page to put this in. All right, so let's make sure that that's going to fit inside fine, and yes, it does. Okay, so now what do we want to do with this? I think I'm going to take this piece out, because if I just add this, it's going to be too much, and it's already going to add more than one page of bulk because of all these folds. Now, do I want to fold these down a little bit more? Yeah, I think so. And that way it'll still be a really nice big pocket, but we can decorate it with some lace or something, and it won't be all the way up to the top. Okay, so as you can see, I folded it in half. I folded it in half this way, folded it in half up this way and down. Not in that order, but you've got the general idea. So I think I'm going, let's see. So there's two things I could do. I could fold it in this way, okay, but then if I decorate this little flap here, it's not really going to show. The other thing I could do is I could fold it out this way, and that way, let's do this here. That way for my center fold, I would have this, which I'm thinking of putting some lace along here, and that would give me a pretty big pocket for the center fold, which would be really nice. And then on the page before the center fold and after the center fold, I would have this little tuck, which I could sew up here at the top and make it a tuck like this, or several other possibilities. Okay, so I think first of all, the first thing to do is to sew our lace on this. So I'm going to look through my laces. Well, or do I want to do some of the sari silk? That might be pretty too. Ooh. What about sari silk down here and then a lace coming over it? Like, let's see, maybe this one, a thin lace. Like this. Oh, wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, that's what we're going to do. Right, I really like that. So, and I think I do want it to fold onto the back. So we're going to make a piece that's the length of this whole thing. So, I had to check and make sure I had turned on the camera for a second. I didn't remember turning it on. Okay, so I'm going to cut this right here. This sari silk is really fun to work with. It does get a lot of threads out of it, and I save those threads to use for messy thread projects. Okay, so let's sew this on right here. So I'm going to move all these other things that I've gotten out. I'm not sure if we'll get to them in this video or another one. Stamps and stuff that I want to use. Okay, and let's go ahead and sew the sari silk on. Now you could glue this if you don't like to sew. I just really like to sew. I think it adds a lot of texture. It makes it feel to me like the paper is more sturdy because of it too. I'm not really sure why, but I mean, I've heard some people say that they think that it weakens the paper, but to me it seems to make it sturdier. So I guess just a difference in philosophy and opinion, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to sew down the sides first, or at least this side, maybe not the other side yet, because the fabric may stretch as I sew it. So if I sew the other side also before sewing the edges, then I could end up with it scrunching and bunching. Okay, so I'm going to sew now. I'm making sure that it's evenly spaced from that fold. All right, and I'm using zigzag stitch. You could use a straight stitch if you want. And I'm also using thread that kind of blends in. I don't really care if it shows, but if you want something that's more of a contrast, you could use that. There we go. So all the way to the edge. And then I'm just going to go up the side. Go ahead and sew this here. And I'm going to turn and sew up the top of this part. Yeah, I think I will. I was thinking for a second about leaving it open so it could almost be a pocket, but we're going to have this turned down over it. Yeah, so we won't. Okay, so we'll just go across the top of this. And that part's not even going to show. I mean, I still like to sew it neatly, but you don't really have to worry about it that much. Okay, so we've got that there, and then we're going to be turning this over it. So we're going to sew our lace on while it's still open like this. Okay, now I don't want to, I could sew it like this, but then it would be sewn down and it doesn't give it as much, I don't know, like dimension, I guess is the word I would use. And I could sew it underneath this peeking out, but I kind of like covering up this sharp edge. So I'm going to turn it out this way, and I'm going to sew it on this way. All right, now I always look at the lace to make sure that I've got what is actually the top. So can you see the difference between that, where you've got the design dimensional on top, and then this where it's more flat? You want the part where it's on top, okay, where it's not so flat. And I'm going to just sew this on the top here. In here, get it lined up on my, now I'm just sewing kind of right down the middle of it, not along the edge, because this is such a narrow lace edging. So I'm kind of, I've got it so that the edge of the paper is going through the center part of this lace. You know, and for something like this, oops, you're not having to do it perfect. You know, because remember, this is a junk journal. You want it to be shabby chic. You want it to look homemade and homey and not all perfect. Okay, so which I just accomplished. Not all perfect. Ah, come on. This doesn't want to stay on. Okay, I'm gonna cut my lace. I think that's the problem, is that I'm trying to hold it down there. Okay, let's get this back on here. Get it back on track. Maybe not quite as fast. All right, and I'm just leaving my threads hanging all over the place. That's part of the shabby chic look. Okay. I think I was trying to go too fast because I didn't want you to have to, you know, just listen to the sewing machine for very long. There we go. And it stretches it as it sews, so I'm still going to clip a little bit off, which gives me a nice little scrap to use on franken paper or something. I think I'll trim this at the same time. It fell onto the floor, but I'll pick it up after I finish recording. Okay, so now what we've got is this. Is that pretty or what? I love it. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to maybe stamp something along the top of this paper? I don't think so, because I don't want to cover up the coffee dye. I think it's so pretty. And I've already covered up this part here, which I think is so nice. So let's just leave it like that. And What am I going to want to do when it goes around the page like that? Do I want this to be a... Okay, I think first of all I need to sew this right here. So let's sew these two edges, because that's not going to do anything standing out like that. I'm not going to make a nice little tuck or anything like that. So let's sew it down. Okay, so we've got that, and also the other end as well. I love this little journal, the way it's turning out. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it or keep it for myself because it's so cute. All right. Okay, so I sewed those edges down. So then when I turn this, how do I want this page to function? This is going to be the center of the book, so it might be a little bit hard to tuck things into that. So I could leave it so that it flips out. But what would be the point of that? I guess there's a pocket here. Yeah, let's do it. Well, we can do it one way on one side and one on the other. Let's leave this one open so it can flip out, and you've got a pocket here, and then this flips out, and you could write quite a bit here, okay? And then this side, let's sew so that it could be a little tuck. So we'll just sew it right here and right here at the top and the bottom. Right? Okay, yeah. And this is top side up, right? Yes, okay. So I'm just gonna sew the top and the bottom of just this side, not the other one. And I just had an idea for the other side too. Okay. And then this one. Okay. So this one makes a nice little tuck. And I'm thinking, I don't know if this will make it too bulky for the book. Let's try this in the book first to make sure that we could add a little bit more bulk before I tell you what my other idea is. Okay, so we go in like this. Oh yeah, I think I can add a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm thinking to make this side fun is, instead of sewing this down like I did the other side, let's make this into an additional flip. Okay, so it would be like, let's see here. How would it work? It would be, or I can do it like this, flip it in. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it to the, to the top and bottom of this extra sheet. This is a piece that I had in here, so I already know that it fits this book. I'm going to sew it right up to the fold right here. Okay, well, just a little bit, like a tiny 1/16 of an inch or so away from it. I'm going to sew the top and the bottom to that. And we're going to do some additional folds when I'm done too. Okay, so let's sew the top here. I think I need to turn it this way so I can make sure it's not coming all the way up to the fold. Okay, so I'm going to sew the top. Where's the fold? Right there. I'm doing, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Okay, and I'm sewing it from 1/8 of an inch from the fold. And I'm going to sew it right there. I'll show you when I take it out again so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of making this up as I go, you guys, so hopefully it'll work. I'm just thinking of these things right now. All right, and it's not exactly even with the edges because remember I cut that piece smaller, so that's okay. That's what makes it kind of, you know, homemade looking and shabby chic and junk journal-y and everything, so that's good. We like that. Okay, so, all right, so what I've got then, this is the centerfold. The other side looks like this, and it's a little thing that you can slip things into. This page that comes before it has this, which I've sewn right up to the edge, but I've left it open. Okay, and then this I'm going to fold a couple times to fit into this better. So it's going to be like this. I don't want it to get caught up in the binding, so I'm moving it away from that center fold. Okay, I'll hold it up so you can see it because it's kind of hard to see. Okay, so see, here's this that I've just folded. This is the center fold. So I've moved it away from the center fold so it doesn't get stuck in the binding. And then I'm going to fold this one in like this. Or should it be, oh, I think it should go this way. Like that. There we go. Okay, so let's put it in the book so we can see what we've actually got here. Okay, so here's the center. Okay, so I'm going along through the pages. Let's see here. Here's a page and another page. Oh, pretty lace. I'm going to have these decorated a little bit. Okay, here's the page before we come to our little thing that we just made. And then we've got this. Now this one's going to, it's got a pocket here, but it's going to fold out like this. Dun, dun. So you can have a little secret pocket here. And then you can write on all this, write on all this. You fold this back this way. And you've also got a pocket that you can put something in here. Does that sound pretty cool? I think that's going to work really, really well. Now there's one more thing that I want to do so that this pocket, so we can get into it easily. I should have done this before, yeah, because I don't think that I can get this up to it now to cut a little notch in it. What else do I have? I guess I'm going to have to just use scissors, and I'll just cut a triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find what I think is the center. I'm going to cut just a straight cut straight down into the center, and then I'm going to go over here and cut that into a triangle like that. Okay, come on, cut it off. And then I'm going to flip this little triangle that I just cut off so I get it even on both sides, and I'm going to put that triangle there and cut it from that direction. Okay, so that way I've got it even cut on both sides. Hopefully. Let's see. End up tearing it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that gives me a little notch so that I know there's a pocket there and I can use it really nicely. Okay, so then we're going to fold this in like this. We can always use this for a, oh no, that's, yeah, this goes like this and this. Okay, and then we might do some stamping in here or something too. Not sure, we'll see. Okay, so this goes this way, right? I'm so confused. Okay, yeah, this is the page right here. And then this folds in like this, okay? And then it'll fold, nope, wait a second, is that right? No. Yes, no. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's it, it goes like this. Okay, yeah. So we've got our pocket here when we open it. We can slip something in here. We can flip this out and open it up and write all across all this, and then we've got a pocket here. Is that cool or what? I think this is really, really, really fun. And good luck to anybody putting it back together. You got a nice little pocket here. And then you open this up, and you know it's going to be bound down through here. So you're going to have this pocket right here and a pocket right here, and then open this, and you've got a little pocket here. Is that cool or what? All right, I'm really excited about that. And we just made that up as we went, right? So that's pretty cool. All right, I will talk to you later. See you next time. I love you all. Bye-bye.